Well, the accountability of executive boss women is nobody's gonna boss us. One, two, we don't like being told what to do. Three, we're not gonna take care of ourselves. Four, we're stuck in misery and we blaming everybody else, and we have the power to do it. I want to be 100% clear. By the time we admit to ourselves we crazy, we almost 90% dead. By the time we tell somebody else, we 95% in the ground.
I was so lonely at the top. Like, here I am living the dream. Oh, you left your corporate job and now you're an entrepreneur. It gets even lonelier when you leave the corporate space and you're trying to do this really on your own. So being in this group and having these little small pods took away that loneliness and helped me be able to like really tap into people who were going to uplift my big dreams and visions.
To move forward, you have to do something different than what you've been doing.
We shouldn't lose another sister in the job that got 100 days of vacation.
That's right. That's
we're
right.
saving for better time. You in hell now. You better take that vacation. Okay.
But you have to know how to take it, and through the program, I really learned how to take it, because I took days off, but I was still working on those days.
And you got 5 kids. And you got 5 kids.
Hey, Christy Rutherford here. Welcome to the Pay Raise Playbook, where we assist you with getting to the next level personally and professionally by sharing insight with you so you can have the courage and clarity to stop avoiding the hard things and take the actions that scare you. While you're here, go ahead and like and subscribe to this podcast, because I am sure you're going to love it. Let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, so Dr. Powell, let's talk about your coach. What was, because people think that they won't get the result that they want with us if they don't have me. I'd be like, first of all, y'all don't want me for 8 weeks. No, you don't want me, because y'all remember, y'all forgot what happened in December.
That was a lot. Okay, I woke up with a headache the next day. So
yeah, let's don't go down there. Let's stay on the
positive. I was gonna say, with you, it would be 3 weeks. Like, let's just truncate it. Like, just go all the way down. But no,
I'm good with every other month. That works, because I don't want to wake up with a headache.
Yeah. Everybody will get beat in the head. We're not playing over here. So what was your experience like with Celestine, right? Like, and then what was your greatest aha about yourself in the past? It's only been 4 months. In the past 4 months, and I would say in the first 2 weeks, what was the greatest aha with yourself? And then what are your thoughts on Celestine?
Oh, in the past 4 months, the greatest aha for me has been I need to lead a unified life. Mm-hmm. So I was Celestine, and these questions are interconnected for me. I remember at one point Celestine told me, like, you got to stop living 2 lives. I would get on the calls and I would be like, happy. And then she'd be like, but I'm looking at your entries and you're still in this Bobriana phase, like you're still in this poor thing, poor child just can't get ahead mode. So when she said that to me, because Celestine is a soft bopper, Christy will punch you in your face and like punch you again and doesn't care that your nose is bleeding. Celestine is like bibbity boppity boo, just at the right the right tempo and the right force. But when she said that really got me in line of like, oh wow, I had created a life where I was so compartmentalized, and she was able to see, no, you can be one unified design, right? You can be light and dark, and you don't have to put those in either which way. So that was the biggest aha. And in terms of Celestine, she was the perfect coach for me during that program, because I think I would have ran for the hills if I had gotten anybody else on the team, just because of how I respond. I need a medium to soft bop. I don't need to be punched in the face.
Yeah, but my coaches are medium to soft bop. I'm the only sledgehammer over here. I just don't have the patience for it no more. We've been talking about this thing for 4 years. I don't want to talk about it no more. But I wanted to move on to different conversations, but there's still at the higher levels, but it's because I want to talk about now, let's get $100 million, which is what we talk about in the next stage. But as far as getting somebody to unlock you, Celestine did the program. She doubled her salary, 100% remote in 4 months. So she can hold space that you can be happy too. You can get off your medication too. You can have joy too. You can be a senior leader in executive government and then go and live your dream too. So she's a testament. And that's the difference. And my coaches are my former clients who got amazing results. So she can hold spaces that can happen for you too. And, she'll pray for you. I pray for you while I'm knuckle sandwiching you. So
I need the combination. That was a good combo. Sometimes I do need it to be punched. Yep. But most of the time, just bop me.
Yeah. Hey, Christy Rutherford here. I hope that you're enjoying the podcast so far. But what I know that you'll love even more is joining us in our private community. Join us in this private community. Money Loves Happy People, and get live and on-demand insights so you can use this information to live the life that you truly deserve. Get a raise and a promotion, no problem. Step into your purpose, no problem. Get the relationship that you deserve, no problem. Look, it's never too late to live the life that you deserve. It's never too late to live a life of total fulfillment. You just need information and inspiration to get on the path to living your greater life. So go ahead again, click on the link on around this video, join us in our private community, and change your life for the best. Take care. See you soon. Same question, Tracy. Zarinah. Tracy, what do you want to be called? What you want to be called these days? Because you're a free woman. What you want to be called?
Yes.
Your real name?
Zarinah. Yes.
Okay, great. Go ahead, Zarinah.
Thank you. Because it does mean queen. So Queen Tracy.
Exactly. All right.
It's a double. I will say Celestine was fantastic. I liked her gentle approach in conversations, but her ability to really listen between the lines, right? Because I think that what happened, and for those, I don't know if they know, but every week we had a call, a live Zoom call, and that's what we're referring to with Celestine. And that was Monday nights, and having an opportunity to hear, how the materials were impacting you in real time. Like, what were you doing with the reading and the work, and how did it resonate with you? Hearing how it resonated with other people versus me in the group was incredibly valuable for me. And it foot stomps that your journey is your own journey. So like, I can't have results for someone else. They can't have it for me. And I know that Celestine walks you through, like, she took her notes, like you could tell she was like intent on, well, this is what you said last week, and this is this week. So what's the difference between the two? And it was just, oh, okay. And it for me, Mondays were my longest days. I mean, I worked 14 hours on Mondays, and it was like catching me, soccer practice, right? And still that upbeat energy from her helped me to keep that upbeat energy on my end. So love her gentle approach. I love her attentiveness. I love her background, which she was able to share with us in little bits and pieces, because you do want a real person and not a robot, working with you. And so I like that part of it as well.
Yeah, a part of what our problem as educated, smart women is we like to check boxes. We ain't gonna do nothing. We'll come over here and we'll get a certificate and we'll say we completed it. We still crazy. So the difference is we're going to give you the work, and then we're going to see if you working what we gave you. That's the difference. Like, if you ain't working it, that's when y'all get punched in the stomach. You be like, I told you, I know what you're not doing over here. Are you doing such and such? People be like,
Gonna do that.
Yeah, this
like, are you doing your affirmations?
Program. Huh?
Yeah, I was going to say that's one key thing too. I did not realize the first week, right, that you have a tracker on looking at the materials. So when you get through the materials, like, you can see how much you completed, and then the next week is not released until you finish that one. So it's like very, methodical of like, no, you're not going to get to week 2 and 3 and whatever. You didn't even finish what you're doing. And I love that too, that passive type of accountability is essential, especially for us as executive women, for sure.
Well, the accountability of executive boss women is nobody's gonna boss us. 1, 2, we don't like being told what to do. 3, we're not gonna take care of ourselves. 4, we're stuck in misery and we blaming everybody else, and we have the power to do it.
Yep.
So to come week after week, and that's what I think when I had a therapist a couple of, or not 2012. Is that every week we was talking about the same stuff. I was like, when we gonna get to the next thing? Like, when we gonna solve this thing? Right? Like, I don't want to come here and y'all digging up skeletons and they sit beside me and I'm now dancing in the Michael Jackson Thriller video with these things. Like, how am I better though? I'm talking, but I'm trying to, because by the time we admit to ourselves that we crazy, we 90% dead. Like, let's be clear. I want to be 100% clear. By the time we admit to ourselves we crazy, we almost 90% dead. By the time we tell somebody else, we 95% in the ground. When you seek medication, we have to be, white flag with the freaking trumpet playing. Like, we're almost dead by the time we admit to somebody else that we in trouble. And and some people will gladly medicate you, but they're not helping you come out of the hole. And that's not fair. Like, we deserve better because we've done everything. We've run through the walls. We've broken the glass ceilings. You got kids and you got the family. You checked all the boxes, and now you're crazy and raggedy. And it's like, we thought that if we got all these things that it would be different. And now we're so miserable. You're like, somebody just, Calgon, take me away, right? That I created. And so for me, having it all having it all means to me is completely different than what it means to Zarinah, is completely different than what it means to Erika and Celestine. And so we're taught to chase other people's stuff. We're taught to covet other people's accomplishments or their life or their lifestyle, not knowing they in hell too. Everybody catching it. Let's be clear.
Yep.
And so having it all to me means having my mental and my physical peace, because I had to lose it to then understand that that was the most valuable thing that I got when I came here. And Earl Nightingale talks about it in Stranger's Secret. Everything that we got for free, we don't value it because it came for free. We don't value our mental and our physical health. We don't value the closeness that we lost with our families because we're busy at work. You talked about that, Zarinah, where you got everything for the people at work. You're serving it up, but when you come home, you ain't trying to serve nothing. You be like, yo, buy your own food.
And these cup of noodles here. I got that big pack of cup of noodles, Yeah.
But in our minds, y'all, we're working to create generational wealth and generational patterns, and we forgetting about them because we at work. Yep. So we got to twist it. So it's a be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's a reset. So y'all act like y'all been friends forever. So let's talk about the group. Because I wanted to have all 4 of y'all on here. But I got to interview them separately. We would have been on here till tomorrow. They'd be like, this thing is a marathon. They still talking. They all laugh. We're going to go get some coffee and some snacks. So what has been, leadership is lonely. And leadership for women, high achieving women, bad ASS women, unicorn women, then women of color. But y'all know we represent the rainbow over here and diversity, because the challenges are the same for the unicorn women. So what has been your biggest benefit, Zarinah, with the group, or what your lesson and then your benefit?
Yeah. And I was just thinking as you were speaking, Christy, I think the big thing to preface this is you really made us turn around, right? So like as executive women, we're focused on what's in front of us. And it's always a drive to like continue digging, keep going. And you never look side to side and you never look behind you. So it's like you forget that there is a community. You forget that there's a whole path that you did accomplish, and there's a whole group of people that are paying attention to that, and you're leaving the door open, but you're like, I'm done with that. I'm going to the next door, right? And I think that mentality is really the exhaustion, right? That's what becomes exhausting, is the inability to live and sit with where you are instead of where you need to be all the time, and then forgetting about where you were before. So I'd say, my biggest thing is with our group, we call them Babs. So which is slightly barbs a little bit, but yeah. So we do have a quad, which I think we made some people mad because we established that it was not meant to be exclusive. It's not a VIP club. It's not anything. It's just a text and, you know, FaceTime and stuff group that we could do in between the calls. We have organized trips and different things. You know, we talk to each other's families and things. So I can say that we are very close between our quad, and it's badass beauties. That's what babs are. So it's from one of the affirmation cards. I don't curse very much, so when we got the card, we were like, oh, okay. The rest of them were like all biblical, and then it was one. It was like, all right. And so it became the running joke, and we were like, we're gonna call ourselves babs. So there is a certain camaraderie of, you know, a week is a long time. You know, we were finding that Monday to Monday's call, there was a lot we were experiencing on a daily basis that we just needed like a smaller kind of connection. And so we wound up talking to one another. I try not to do a trio because the fourth member of our quad travels internationally like nobody I've ever seen. So when we reach out, sometimes she's on a camel, you know, in like a temple. I'm like, are you in the US? Like, what is happening? So, you know, we'll pull her in even more as she's going along, but she joined later. So it started as a trio and then it became a quad. So it really is, how are you doing? Like, how are you feeling today, right now? What is your hiccup today? And then pouring into each other different tips that we had along the way to make the journey much smoother. And we had a lot of like bumps and rocks and different things, and just getting all of us. I mean, all of us are free. Well, definitely the trio. We're looping in the quad now that she's back to the States. But us as a trio is like super duper tight. We feel like we've known each other forever. We do kind of talk like every day, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So a week is a long time, because back in the day, y'all know we wake up on Monday and pray it's Friday, and that week is gone. And the whole year is gone poof. So now that, you know, when you have to look in the mirror at yourself, the week is a long time. 1, 2, you're present.
Yes.
So you feel the time. We don't feel FEEL the time, because we're feeling FILLING. But people can say we're feeling the time with other stuff that don't matter. Like That's you right. talked about being addicted to being busy, Zarinah. Like a month is gone, and we don't know what happened. And now you talking about a week is a long time. What?
Yes. Yeah, complete change. And I think it's because of the internal transformation. When, you know, not to dive too much into what was a key tip for me, but the time breakdown. I mean, I thought of things as an Outlook calendar, because someone was always doing my calendar. My team was filling my calendar, and everything is 30 minutes or an hour. No, think of it as minutes. How much time are you wasting? Oh God, that hit me so hard. And I've restructured my life that way. I mean, you know, I've been in and out of the US like 2-3 times over the past 2 weeks. That never would have happened. And that's not for work. That's the big difference. I took my first personal travel right in November, like right after a month in. And my first personal travel in like 14 years. So those types of things, yes, a week is a long time, because in one day you can kind of say, whoa, this is crazy. I mean, the transformation of all of us from where we started to where we are, if we only discussed it once a week, we would miss all of the additional developments that we were pouring into each other. And that could be music, that could be meditation, what we're meditating to. You know, what we've seen, maybe a new quote, not always a conversation for a long time. A lot of it is just text.
Hey, Christy Rutherford here. I want to tell you about my resume course, How to Use the Superpower Method to Write an Irresistible Resume to Land You a High-Paying Job. If you can't figure out why you can't get to the next level, if you think that there are barriers to your success, that's not it. If you haven't learned how to adequately take credit for the work that you've done, if you don't know how to articulate it and even give it to a resume writer that you've paid $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to, if you haven't given them the right information, then how can they output something that is of quality and value? So go ahead, get this course. It's less than $50. Get the information, use it, and write an irresistible resume that will get you the salary that you deserve today. So click on the link on around this video or go to thesuperpowermethod.com. Get it, use it, get paid what you deserve today.
All right. So Erika talked about, leadership and just being a woman. Being a woman is lonely because, a lot of women at the high levels are crazy and toxic and vicious. I said it. I say it again. We used to be crazy and vicious and lonely. So it's like, what? So to find other women who y'all have been on the journey together, but to have peace, and now you can have camaraderie, you can have people that you talk to that is not going to judge you for your worst moment. We all got a chapter in our book that we ain't reading, and we don't want to tell anybody, and that's what we're suffering with the most. And so to have that and to be able to share it and be vulnerable, for heaven's sakes, and not think that people are going to weaponize your weakness, because we paranoid at the top. I'm speaking for myself, so I might as well take you off the big screen. But what has been your experience with with the group and the camaraderie of the Babs?
Yeah, I'm so glad that you mentioned the word lonely, because I was so lonely at the top. Like, here I am living the dream. Oh, you left your corporate job and now you're an entrepreneur. It gets even lonelier when you leave the corporate space and you're trying to do this really on your own. And I had like professional connections and spiritual communities that I would tap into, but there wasn't a group where I could be spiritual self, my business self, my brilliant self. But this is what that Babs group did for me and gave me. It was the biggest gift of like, oh, here I am trying to make these big changes. And like Zarinah said, I have people encouraging me. I have people saying, you got this. And not in that superficial way of like, yeah, you got this. But like, no, have you done your mantras? Have you done your affirmations? Listen to this Abraham Hicks video. Listen to, TD Jakes, or listen to this person or that person. This will help you through. Like, one of our group members, she turned us on to tapping, because at first I was like, that's cute, but I'm not going to be hitting my head and doing all that stuff. And then she started getting these great results. And she said, oh, I'm doing this challenge. Do y'all want to do it? And I was like, well, because the Babs are doing it, that I'll check it out. And before you know it, I'm making miracles in my life. They're making miracles in their life. All of a sudden, so I live in the Bay Area, and I think I told you this, Christy, for 8 years, people wouldn't like make eye contact with me. I could walk down the street and people would barely smile. All of a sudden, good morning, how are you? Smile, smile, smile. So being in this group and having these little small pods took away that loneliness and helped me be able to like really tap into people who were going to uplift my big dreams and visions, not say, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you should hold back a little bit. This is like where we put kerosene on an already brewing fire. And it just, that's what creates the transformation. For me, at least.
Awesome. All right. So, Zarinah.
Yeah.
What advice? Because as we're people listening to y'all, and they don't think that it can work for them. They don't think that they can be different.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to talk about the amount of research and reconnaissance that you did before you chose to get on my phone. So you wanted to make sure, am I legit? Was I validated? Because I need to go down that road for 30 seconds.
Okay, let's do it. I already know. I was wondering. I'm like, oh, she's holding back. She's being nice because Erika's here. Because I already know. We talk, so I know. So Miss Christy, I knew from internally the work I was doing. She was in similar work over a decade ago, and I was like, we have mutual friends. So I'm going to walk myself down the hall and I'm going to ask these two mutual friends that we know independently, do you know who this is, in a casual conversation? Because we're talking about something else anyway. Could you let me know? And they're like, Tracy, I know how you go. Because of course they knew me as Tracy. Like, don't be so skeptical. This is a real person. Yes, I think you will like her. Her personality and yours are going to match. And so I said, okay, this should be interesting. They're like, yeah, she's going to love you and you are going to love her. You have to let me know how this goes. And so I said, okay, I will. So I let her know. I said, okay. One of her first questions is like, how did you hear about Vision Finder International, as she says? There's, international. And so I said, well, I have these two mutual friends. She was like, yeah, I know who they are. And I could feel her like looking at the phone, like, oh, this lady is going to be a problem, right? And I instantly knew, look, she is what she says she is. I will say, hey, end of the day, I'm a girl from Philly, okay? I'm skeptical. I don't have a lot of money to waste unless it's a 529 plan for my college, fund for my kids, so it really was, just how I vet anyone. Everyone's always selling to me as an executive anyway. And I'm like, nah, no thanks. And so as it kind of went on, I said, this is definitely the right person for me. Listen to videos. I think I listened to like 25 videos. I was like, whole recon. I was like, check. Okay, check. So she's real. No, she's not always going to beat you up, right? I know there's a lot of like hitting in the head and things like that. For people who are not familiar with the street terminology and things, the vernacular, it is not actually hitting you or that offensive, right? It really is coming from a place that in order to resonate and stick with you, has to have some sort of memory and vigor to it. And I think that the method of that has really helped me exponentially into freedom so much faster than I ever thought possible.
Hey, Christy Rutherford here, inviting you to join my private community, Money Loves Happy People. Yes, the information is so good. We do live interviews. I have hundreds of on-demand videos in this community, including my signature course, How to Use the Superpower Method to Write an Irresistible Resume. My other course, 7 Keys to Getting the Raise That You Desire and Deserve. I made hundreds of videos from amazing thought leaders from around the world. You have access to on demand. Go ahead, register, join us in this community, get this insight, and get paid what you desire and deserve. Take care.
Okay, great. Because people be, but here's the difference. Zarinah, I've been in the game for a long time. I have a solid reputation. So you can go ask the people who knew me 10, 15, 20 years ago. They'd be like, oh yeah, I haven't, like, I've been doing this for a long time, which is what you did, which is okay. I appreciate it because you said that. Military government people understand that. Anyway, y'all didn't catch that. She said, I bet everybody. We will go do our research because we can. And we go find the people. So it's one thing, and I always talk about when people want to work with somebody, they want to work with a coach or a business coach. You need to do your research on that person. I don't mind you doing the research on me. I don't like, I encourage it. We got too much street cred out here in the present results. But you went and dug in the crates of the people who knew me 10, 15, 20 years ago. And they was like, same thing. That's like that. You're going to, one, have your big girl pants on. Because I know that some people that talk to people that anyway, they be like this. Nah, yeah, you ain't ready for Christy. They was like this. Oh, yeah, you ready. Because you're a boss. All right, great.
Because I'm the same too. So that, and anyone who wants to know, you can reach out to me.
No, don't do that. Don't open yourself up in your inbox. You be like this.
I don't mind. If I don't want to talk to you, I will not respond. So but feel free to reach out. I'll let you know the same thing.
Last question. So what advice, I got 2 more questions. What advice, Dr. Powell, do you have for women who just, like, I talked to this woman who, like, there's so much suffering around us. I know y'all can see it now that y'all out the fire. Y'all looking at people like, what the wow? What in the world? You better get up. Like, I talk to women all the time and they won't do anything. Like, you don't have to work with me, but do something for heaven's sakes and stop reading these books. Y'all read enough books. Y'all, like, they're reading books to justify and like to label their dysfunction and their limitation. They're joining these conversations of what everybody else should be doing to give them peace, as opposed to taking actions for themselves. That's my advice, what I got for them. But what do you have for them? It might be nicer Dr. Powell, what advice do you have for women who are stuck, they feel overwhelmed and underappreciated and undervalued, and they money funny as entrepreneurs because they jumped out there too fast? But go ahead, I'm gonna mute myself.
Get real about what's working and what's not working, because being in denial, and there's so much out there. I remember, meeting folks, even myself, like, oh, I'll just mantra my way into an oblivion. That's not real. And what drew me to this work was that Christy was real. Like, this was a person that was labeling the dysfunction that I had. This was a person that was saying, like, yeah, you have that, and this is the mantra, or this is the affirmation, or these are the things that will move you forward. So first, get real. You got to get real with yourself. And then the second is take responsibility. So that was a huge takeaway. Like, I do a lot of work professionally where it's easy to see how the system is impacting us. And what I loved about what Christy's work made me recognize was, like, system's going to sis, the ism's going to is. I got to take responsibility for myself. And there's one of the cards that we got, I think it says something like, what people say to me is not my responsibility or karma. How I respond within these systems and how I show up is what really matters. So to those folks, maybe it's a little nicer, but you got to get real with yourself and you got to take responsibility. That's the best thing that you can do to move yourself forward and get unstuck if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're, in a corporate or a nonprofit job.
Same question for you, Zarinah.
Yeah. I'll say that, this is probably my strongest area is advice, right? And so I think professionally, you take a lot of advice in. Personally, you take a lot of advice, but sometimes you just have to drop the noise. So there's a lot of different noise around you all the time that's telling you to do this, whether it's the news, whether it's the radio, whether it's, family, friends. Sometimes you just need to remove the noise. So to move forward, you have to do something different than what you've been doing. It's like, doesn't make sense to just continue. The unstuck thing that Erika mentioned, definitely, like, you have to become unstuck. But I would say the first step is to align yourself with someone who you look up to, that is in a place where you want to reach. I think that women, we don't do the best job of that. I do find that my male counterparts have that pathway. Oh, I'm a lieutenant, I want to be a general. I'm this, I want to be this, right? We don't do enough of that. We think, okay, we're just going to make this happen and we're going to, steamroll ahead. So align yourself with that. And it doesn't take an additional certification to do it. I think it just takes some research. And that would probably be my biggest advice. Try something new, something different, and find a new alignment person.
Okay. So you recently set your sails into freedom. So what is the difference in how you set your sails from your glorious and amazing career? Like, it's just transition. What would have been the difference in you leaving in dropping your letter in October when you was harassing me and I told you to chill, then and today?
I'm guessing that's for me, because that sounds like what you said to me. Okay. So I will say, I'm someone who enjoys wherever I am. Like, I bring the party wherever I am. So I happen to be in, as you said, an incredible career. I've had a great, an accomplished history, and I'm sure I'll hop back on to what that looks like. But I think that for me, it was introspection that there was no way I could complete what I was doing if my family is my priority. It just was no way. It's just not sustainable in that particular place. I think that it was just a hefty role and a hefty mission, and I just outgrew it, but left happily with great relationships and great appreciation. I think that leaving December 22nd was my last day, and it was really the idea of starting new at the top of the year. I am so excited about, what the journey will be. I know there's a lot more work to get me to where I want to be, but the biggest difference would be pretending to be happy versus actually happy. Like it's when you smile with your eyes instead of your lips, right? It's a different type of emanating enjoyment. And it feels good to have found that space again. And I just want to rest in that space a little while longer before I hop back out and do the magic of the people.
Yeah, because you got money. You didn't know you had money till you started to. You know, we do it all in the program. We do it all. We do it all. We turn on all the light bulbs. We just run down and turn all the light bulbs on. Look at what you've been doing in your life. You sent me a video with all your purses. I was like this. Yeah, you over there dressing up your brokenness. So what you bet not do over here is talk about how much money you ain't got when you got every purse, multiple. But go ahead. See what happens.
I thought we were going to run out of time. So yes, I do. And I had like over like 1,000 hours of leave. Like it's ridiculous. Okay. And so yes, I do. I did not want to spend it, but now I really don't care. I'm excited about it. And I know that there's so much out there for me that it's never going to run dry. It's always available. People are flocking to me all the time. So it's always available. But I'm just not quite ready. So
I mean, the reason why I brought that up, Zarinah, is that women are going crazy with money, right? We're dying in jobs, with money enough to leave the job for years. We can leave the job market for years, right? If we just made a couple of lifestyle decisions to stop breaking up our brokenness or dressing it up, we can leave for years and get the rest that we need, which is what you're doing. We have enough leave on the books. Ain't taking vacation crazy, like you said. You took a personal trip. Y'all went to go see Abraham Hicks. What? No, that wasn't in November. You said that was.
No, I went to Grenada.
Oh, okay. So did we count this January one as your personal travel too? Did we?
No, so we'll count that too. And then the Bahamas just 2 days ago. So
okay, so that's 3 in the past couple weeks since November, right? But you had enough. But we're dying with vacation days.
That's right. Yeah.
And so I want to bring it back to the ground, because when people listen, they be like, Chris, you be talking about all that pie in the sky stuff. I be like, hey, let me tell you something. You better change before life punch you in the stomach. I'd rather punch you in the stomach than life come. I did it already. Roll me over the coals, snatch my wig off. I don't wear wigs and burn everything I had down to ash. I'm trying to save y'all from yourself. I did this already. Y'all shouldn't have to walk the same path. We shouldn't lose another sister in a job that got 100 days of vacation.
That's right.
We're saving for better time. You in hell now. You better take that vacation. Yeah. Okay.
But you have to know how to take it, and through the program, I really learned how to take it, because I took days off, but I was still working on those days.
In some kids, and you got 5 kids.
Hey, Christy Rutherford here. I hope that you are enjoying this podcast as much as we loved putting it together for you to share insight to make your life better. Now, did you get your copy of my resume course, How to Use the Superpower Method to Write an Irresistible Resume to Land You a High-Paying Job? Look, even if you have somebody write your resume for you, how do you know whether or not it sucks? And did you give them the information to be able to write a great resume, or did you hope that they were going to spend gold out of something that you gave them that wasn't that good? So get this course, not just to write your own resume, but to be able to provide resume writers with what they need to adequately tell your story so you can get paid the money that you desire and deserve. So go ahead and click on the link on around this video. Get this course, use it, and get paid what you deserve. It's less than $50. I mean, come on, just get the course and use it. See you soon. What's the difference for the women, like, who have the vacation but don't vacate? Like, does that make sense? So why didn't you know how to take vacation? You got it. It's in the contract. Y'all fighting for it.
Yeah, you don't know how to take vacation because typically you'll take 1 day off. 1 day does not work because that day is a catch-up day. You don't know how to pour that time into yourself. So you'll wind up taking the day off to do laundry or to run errands, or you put your doctor's appointments on the day off day. Like all of those things where really you should be taking time off for your doctor's appointment, like a separate period of time. You just don't think to do that. And then if you're off, maybe I want to sleep. You're supposed to like just restore whatever you need and not pour that into the next thing. What I will say too, for moms, since you mentioned that earlier, a lot of times I was taking my days off when my kids were off. And that's not a day off. So that's actually more work. And I think it's more work because I didn't understand that they need to be able to flex and be free also, and not me do every single thing for them. So the exhaustion there, again, as Christy says, it's not you, external force, it's you internally. It's me, right? It's me in the scenario and what I'm bringing and how I'm exhausting myself. So you have to be taught how to take vacation. You should make a video about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's one, you just made it. Thank you. And so it's one thing to for me to say it as a single woman who frolics happily down the beach, and another as a mom with 5 kids, because the women who have kids and who are married say, you don't know what you're talking about. And I just be like, I know how to be happy and I can be selfish. So what we need to do is teach y'all how to be selfish. And you taking a vacation day to go to sleep for a mom who's going to feel guilty about that is selfish. But now you're going to do that. You be like, yeah, y'all going somewhere. Let me hire somebody to come on here and watch these kids so I can take a nap in the guest room. Like, that is unheard of by standards of what we should be doing. And we over here dying when we could just go sleep in the guest room. Does that make sense? It's kind of crazy.
Yep. You're welcome, moms. Do it.
All right. Dr. Erika, what question? What was the question? Because we got to end this thing. I need to go.
I was going to say, yeah, we can you go back to the question?
I forgot.
We want to know.
So what advice?
What advice? Yeah.
I'm wore out. Y'all done wore me out. What advice do you have for women who are on the fence?
Left their career.
Wait, who on the fence, not left their career? Well, that's a different podcast, because I did one, don't quit your job for entrepreneurship. But we're gonna close this thing because y'all wearing me out, and I got another one. So, what advice do you have for women who are worried about Susie Orman and using their money to invest in themselves? And if they are on the fence about working with us over here at Vision Finder International, what advice do you have for them?
Give it a try. I mean, really, it's you'll know if you feel the resonance, and you'll know if it feels like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be doing this, but that soul part of you says, no, this is where my butt needs to be. Get off the fence, because the fence will kill you. You will be impaled on the fence. Get off of it. If it's not Christy, find the folks, like Zarinah was saying, that have the, it's not even the lifestyle, have the way of being that you want to be in the world, and go for that. And get off of whatever middle road and middle path you're on. You have to get off, because that will kill you.
Yeah, you definitely got to pick a side, because you said it in the beginning. I wouldn't have been here. That would have been 3 months. You were out of here. And a lot of us are checking out knowing that we are going to die. We know it. And we just hope that we don't have a stroke tomorrow. With money and vacation days. The insanity of it. And we're too crazy to make a decision. All right. Zarinah, same question. What advice do you have for women who wondering whether or not, I mean, you'd have vetted me. You done ran me through the ringers. What advice, validated with the blue check. What advice do you have for women who are considering coming to work with us over here at Vision Finder International? They on the fence and they don't know. They don't know.
Yeah. So my biggest thing is do the initial inquiry, right? And I think that, that's usually what will let you know if it resonates or not. Vision Finder International is not for everyone. I'm just going to put it out there. It really isn't. So it's not for the weak-minded. It's not for those who are trying to slowly advance in their career. It's not for recent graduates that is just kind of getting onto their feet. I will say it's much higher than that. So especially if you're at VP level or higher, please consider. It really has been life-altering and life-changing, but Christy gives consultations. I don't know if she's going to outsource some of that, but whoever. Vision Finder International gives those consultations where you can find out the general information of what it's about. And then do your homework. YouTube, look it up. I don't know. You can see how she speaks. It's consistent. She is not the only one that you will receive, though. You will, meet many coaches. There's a whole community after you've gone through the program. I many things that continue after that initial start. But I would say go through the consultation. That particular stage is essential, and then decide from there. Do it.
Hey, Christy Rutherford here. I hope that you're enjoying the podcast so far. But what I know that you'll love even more is joining us in our private community. Join us in this private community, Money Loves Happy People, and get live and on-demand insights so you can use this information to live the life that you truly and deserve. Get a raise and a promotion, no problem. Step into your purpose, no problem. Get the relationship that you deserve, no problem. Look, it's never too late to live the life that you deserve. It's never too late to live a life of total fulfillment. You just need information and inspiration to get on the path to living your greater life. So go ahead again, click on the link on around this video, join us in our private community, and change your life for the best. Take care. See you soon.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, we're not for everybody. I tell people that all the time. You can't, like, I am who I am for. I'm only really talking to one type of woman. High achieving, badass, ran through all the walls, have achieved high levels of success, crazy, miserable, stressed out, suffering, suffocating in the success that we created and can't tell nobody. That's pretty much who we have to. The super women who can't tell anybody that we in trouble. The moms and in the sandwich of the taking care of the caretaker, the woman who's holding the whole world up and she's starting to collapse under her feet, right? The woman who about to die with 100 vacation days and don't know how to stop because nobody's gonna get, who watched Susie Woman talking about don't put it on your credit card, use cash, and you're crazy, but you got $200,000 in the bank. Like, what? That's who we have to. Anyway, all right, ladies. So one, I want to thank y'all so much. One, for trusting the process. One, trusting me. After I beat y'all in the head on the phone, oh yeah, you easy. Yeah, we're gonna set you free. I can't wait to see who you gonna be on the other side of this. But then trusting the process and then getting the result that we want. Like that's the work. And so when we talk about the jackhammer in the head or being punched in the stomach or something like that, is like, I want this. And until I see this person, we're gonna wear you out until you get what you came here for. You invested in something, you invested in the result. Sometimes we got to drag y'all to get it. It ain't right, but it is what it is. I'm willing to do it. I was built for it tough. But I do want to also thank you for showing up and sharing your insight with other people around the world. And I really want, my goal with this podcast is to let women know that they can be different. That we deserve better. We've done everything. And to see that women who have amazing bios that I have to cut short to like a quarter of the bio so we ain't here still reading this thing, like, we suffer too. Superheroes bleed too. Superheroes cry too. And in order to get real change and affect real change in your life, y'all have to change. We got to stop waiting and talking about what they should be doing to help us. No, you better help yourself. Because we can die and they gonna keep on keeping on. It's not gonna change the result, and that's not fair to our families to show up in the way that we're showing up. And that's all I got. Do y'all have any closing? You got anything to close, Zarinah? You got any closing thoughts?
I do. I was just going to say thank you so much. I think that we talk a lot about the investment that you've made and in all of us, and not a lot about how much we invest in you too. And your success means our success. And I mean, you're stuck with me, so it just is what it is. So thank you.
You stuck with me forever. I'm never going away.
Don't you try to quit on me ever again. Like,
maybe that was a moment that God sent to you as you tried to quit and showed you we weren't no real punks over here, because maybe that's what you needed. God shows up in mysterious ways, right? Me trying to kick you out the program and give you your money back was offensive to a boss.
Yeah.
And it made you dig your heels in a little more. Weak women would have ran away. You was like, oh no, she ain't gonna quit me. I'm not gonna let you. Maybe that's what God did. I think that's good.
Oh, it's 100%. 100%.
Take your money back and beat it. You was like, what? No, never. All right, Dr. Powell, what are your closing thoughts?
Well, I got gratitude, just deep gratitude, Christy, for showing women really around the world how to find their spark, their sparkle, and to lead with that. to lead with the real you. That I think is your gift. And I am so grateful to you for being courageous enough to do that, because that's not an easy path. So thank you.
Well, it took me almost dying to learn how to just be myself.
To live. Yeah.
That's we suffocate trying to be normal. And once you just come out in all your glory and be everything that you are, and not hide the quirky parts, because like what makes you weird, which you are, is your gift to change the world. What makes Zarinah a lot, and she is all caps a lot with 5 exclamation points behind it, is her greatest gift to change the world. And that's what we deserve. We deserve to live fully and expressive in our energy and in our power, unapologetically, and don't care about how other people feel about it. And what you'll find is that other people like it too. So, all right, ladies, thank you so much for showing up. And thank y'all. God bless. How are y'all? Bye, y'all. See y'all. Y'all don't hang up. All right. Bye, y'all. Everybody who joined us.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Your support is greatly appreciated. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast. What I want you to ponder on this week: what is your greatest takeaway from this episode, and what is one action you're going to take to change your life for the better? Lastly, get your pay gap calculator to see how your pay compares to the market value of what others are getting paid. Text pay gap, all one word, to 66866. Again, pay gap to 66866, or use the link below this video or podcast. Get this insight, use it, and get paid what you desire and deserve. See you in the next episode.